It's a smooth 98.1. Love music, love life. It's a Wednesday morning. Yes, hump of the week, Wednesday morning, smack dab in the middle of your business week, your holiday week, whatever it is that you're doing, because not everybody is in an office right now or a place of business. Some people are actually putting their feet up in the air right now and just relaxing on a Wednesday. You know what? I'm not even jealous. Just enjoy your time, enjoy your day, and just do what it is that you need to do. I'm not mad or anything. I'm fine. I'm okay. Ayokunmi right here with you on the Smooth Breakfast, ready to get into a world of conversation. You know, we like to have discussions about different issues. Today isn't going to be any different because we're going to have a conversation about something very, very important that you've experienced at some point as a business owner or as a customer, and that is customer service. We're looking at customer service as a growth strategy. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up is because of a conversation I had with a colleague not too long ago. You know, she shared a frustrating experience that she had with an Instagram shoe vendor. Now, she loved the products that this particular person has, top-notch quality and all that. She mentioned that any time she bought things from her, there were no issues, good quality products and all that. But the vendor's poor customer service left her deeply dissatisfied. She mentioned she suffered slow responses, dismissive communication sometimes, and it was so frustrating for her that she then began to consider whether or not to keep patronizing that particular vendor. I know one thing about Nigerians or people generally, as far as I know, is when you have a particular vendor or someone you buy things from and you know their products are of the highest quality, the original, and so on, you find it difficult to move elsewhere because you could go elsewhere where the person is all rosy and everything, but what they're selling won't last 2 market days. So you're caught between a rock and a hard place. Now that is where this particular colleague actually is, and this story isn't unique by any stretch of the imagination. Many businesses, particularly small ones, they tend to underestimate the power of customer service. They pour all their energy into creating all these excellent products and services, but then they fail to actually realize that a bad customer service experience can ruin the entire process. True story, people. Bearing this in mind, just think back. I'm pretty sure you don't need to think too far back to remember a particular bad customer service experience that you had with a business. Or if you're a business owner, pick up a mirror and look right at that mirror. Are you guilty of this? I'm not judging. It's a no judge zone. We're just here to learn and get better advice in order to do better. When you know better, you actually do better. So we're diving into this very critical topic, why customer service is not just important, um, but completely essential, really, for the growth of small businesses. Also, large businesses as well, but small businesses. I'm looking at you with side eye because it's from there we tend to experience these things. Anyways, joining me this morning to have this conversation is Jennifer Obulo-Urueye. She is a seasoned senior project and operations manager. She's helped businesses transform their operations and thrive through better customer service. Very good morning to you, Jennifer. Great to have you on Lagos Talks.
Hi, Ayo. Good morning. It's very great to be here. It's nice to see you again.
The feeling is very mutual. And I'm actually glad to have you here in this capacity because this particular issue, I'm pretty sure that even you would have stories for weeks, not even days, for weeks about, customer service and all that. But before we dive in, for you out there listening to us, joining this conversation, if you want to share your thoughts, any questions you have, any experiences, oh, I want to hear your experiences. So please come one and come all. Send your messages to us on WhatsApp on 0809 444 0981. 0809 444 981 is the WhatsApp number. The studio line is 0201 4489 981. We're also streaming on YouTube. You can find us at Smooth 981 FM Lagos. You can drop your comments there as well. And oh boy, I'll be taking them along with the WhatsApp messages. Now, Jennifer, when we talk about small businesses, they operate in a very unique space where every single customer interaction counts. Like big corporations with extensive marketing budgets, brand recognition, and there are people who interface and so on and so forth. When it comes to a small operation, a single dissatisfied customer can discourage dozens of others, especially with the speed of social media. It is so quick these days. And many customers in Nigeria, they value how they are treated even more than the product or service that they receive.
Yeah,
That is
yeah.
a fact. Now, a rude response, or poor communication, or even a lack of follow-up, this can overshadow the quality of the product itself. Now, looking at all that, from your experience, why do you think customer service is more critical for small businesses compared to the much, much larger corporations?
So because the business is small, they have a lot more touch points with their customers. And for me, that's like an advantage for them to actually create lasting impressions in their customers. And that's where some small businesses get it wrong. Just like you had mentioned, large corporate organizations, they have massive budgets, they have massive marketing departments to create, loyalty in customers. But for small businesses, they don't have that type of budget to work with. That's why you're a small business in the
Mm,
first place. So when you are dealing directly with your customers, it's a great way for you to create that experience into advocacy. If your customer leaves with a great experience, they immediately become a brand advocate. And what happens is that they start telling other people. The fastest way for a small business to grow is through word of mouth. And word of mouth, positive word of mouth does not happen if the customer has even one bad experience. So that consistency is what a lot of small business actually means. So small businesses, they have customer service people who they feel, they don't need to train or things like that. And you realize that my experience will be different from your experience, Ayo. And unfortunately, that deters from what they could have turned into an advocate for their business. So it's very critical because also competition. There's so much competition out there. Whatever it is that you're doing, I'm pretty sure there's someone else doing it somewhere.
or
So
even
the
10 people.
easiest to, or even 10, exactly, especially with the advent of social media, there's so many people doing the exact same thing. Just search the name, search the service you're looking for, and you'll find 100 people doing it. So the easiest way for you to differentiate yourself from your competitors as a small business is through that great customer service, because unfortunately in Nigeria, it's very rare, so it's something that we should be taking seriously as small business owners.
True story. Now, that being said, let's take a look at the role of customer experience in building brand loyalty. Because when we talk about customer experience, we could say it's the emotional connection that a business builds with its customers. It's what turns a one-time buyer into a lifelong supporter of that business. Now, for many businesses, it's not just about selling a product, it's about creating a relationship, which I think is very, very key. Because when customers feel like they are valued and they're respected, they not only return, but they also become brand ambassadors. They will carry that business on their head, probably even more than the business owner, as it were. But on the other hand, when you talk about a bad experience, just one bad review or one negative experience, now that can quickly snowball, especially in the age of online reviews. They say bad news travels very, very fast. Now, from your experiences over time, do you have any examples of, small businesses that have built incredible brand loyalty by prioritizing customer service? I mean, not necessarily naming names, but just, general examples from your experience.
Yeah, so I mean, even I am a customer myself. So there are businesses that I have worked with that I really like. And even though they are far away from me, I would leave my house and go and meet them. So take, for example, I used to
Mm,
live on the island, and I used to have someone who does my hair and my nails right beside my house. And at some point, I think management changed in that salon. I don't know what happened, but things became really bad. There was a lot of long wait times. People were talking rudely to other people. Then I had to change. And I remember then I would drive from Lekki to Ikeja to go and get my hair and my nails done, just because I had found
wow.
somewhere where the customer service was actually worth it. And even now, I've left the island, I live on the mainland. I still drive from where I live to Ikeja to go and get my hair and my nails done, because each time I have been there, and I've been using them for quite a while now, consistent experience. Like I never leave that place angry. So you can imagine spending your time and your energy going to get your hair done, get to get your nails done, and then you come out and you're upset. That used to happen to me a lot. And I realized that I just have to keep searching until I find what I'm looking for. And now I literally leave wherever I am to find these guys. Even when they moved locations, I still found them. from where and that's just because whenever it is I go there, one, I feel like I'm being listened to. Even when I'm
Mm,
not sure of what I want to do, I am being listened to. They give me suggestions, they listen to my opinions. I never feel, even when I struggle to meet up with appointments sometimes because of work and whatever, they try to understand things. So all of that, just imagine all of that. And then I will not, I don't want to take that risk of going to look for somewhere else. And at the end of the day, they do what I need them to do. So a small business like that, I know the owner of the business, she takes it very seriously. I know she takes out time to train her people, even the way they speak, they have been trained on how to speak to people. So that level of paying attention to detail, this is just a salon. I know that someone will say, hey, but it's a small business. Customer service works across any kind of business you have, whether you
mm.
have a stall down the road where you sell sweets and chewing gum, or you have an actual, shop where you actually sell provision, whatever business you have, customer service works, and you will find that your customers will leave wherever they are to look for you. So that's just an example that I have.
Huh, interesting. I just need to piggyback off what you just said. Looking at this particular situation, this salon, because it seems like you are a lifelong supporter, as it were. I mean, what do you think the owner of that business is doing right? Because it's been a number of years and you've been satisfied each and every single time. I mean, how much efforts does it seem like the owner is putting into making sure that those standards don't drop? Because it's remarkable.
Yeah, I even asked her at some point. I had to ask her that, oh, where do you find these people that you hire? And she actually told me that it's not about hiring people. Like whoever she hires, they go through a process. She actually closes her shop once every month to train the people that work in her shop. I had never seen that anywhere else before. Like you close your
Hmm,
shop on a Sunday where people need to come and do their hair. Sometimes she closes on a
right.
Monday where they have less customers. She closes on a Sunday and they do training. Training from she gets people to come in to talk to them. She gets people to come in to show them how to like upgrade their skills. It's very rare. And this salon I'm talking about, they don't charge like over the top prices, for example, right? They're not like too expensive. So because I had gotten consistent service from different people, so people would probably resign, move out, and then new people will come in, and I still got that level of excellence from her staff. I had to ask her, right? So I asked her and she told me that it's just the training, but also she had also ensured that people that are doing the right things, she gives them incentives to stay. So I've known people that have worked there for 5, 6, 7 years, they're still there because she puts all these incentives. Like if you do the right things, you get the right things out of it. So she
Hmm,
really has taken her business. I think she just opened, if I'm not mistaken, she just opened a branch in Lekki now. And I was teasing her that, so now you've come to Lekki, now I'm not in Lekki. She opened a branch. But the amount of years she spent in Ikeja honing her skills there, honing her business skills before duplicating it into another that branch is not up to 1 month. I'm very sure it opens sometime in December. And now, but I'm confident that if I walk into there, she'll be able to replicate that excellence that she has got,
right,
she has
right.
put down in Ikeja because she has spent time, money, and effort into ensuring that the customer service skills of her people is something that she can replicate somewhere else.
Huh, absolutely amazing. Those are the sort of success stories that we love to hear. Let's take a quick break right now. When we come back in, we'll take a look at, some of the challenges that small businesses often face when delivering or face in delivering good customer service. Keep it tuned to Smooth 98.1 Lagos Talks. We'll be back on the other side. How many years have you been going to that salon? I'm just curious.
Uh, since maybe 2018 or 2019.
Huh.
Yeah,
That's, that is
yeah.
that is not bad. This
And
is
now,
2025.
yeah, she just opened a new branch in Lekki, and I remember commenting on her page on IG that please don't carry my friends that I know from the Keja branch today. And she messaged me like, you already know that the same, you will get the same service. Don't worry yourself. And I'm very sure that I will get the same service if I go there. It's a really good
And
salon.
and the thing is, after spending so much time in Ikeja, the kind of hey, what's what I'm looking for? The goodwill should have built up, relationship that should have had with customers
Exactly.
who
Exactly.
from there they won't even waste time in telling their Lekki friends, okay, Omo, that my saloon that is in Ikeja, there's one in Lekki now. Oh, you can now go start in your head and because they would have been telling their friends, oh, my salon in
Exactly.
Ikeja is this,
I
is
actually
that,
believe that people
you know.
from there come to Ikeja to do their hair. I believe that greatly. So you can imagine now you have somewhere around you. I'm sure before she made that decision, to open a branch in Lekki, she would have known that some of our customers are there. So yeah,
Exactly.
really, really
Exactly.
impressive. Really
Hmm.
impressive.
That is quite an amazing story. I mean, I've stopped patronizing some businesses because of attitude. As small as maybe a small shop, but once I see that the person selling is doing one kind, I will buy you. I will buy and then I will go. But after that, I ain't coming back. I'm not coming back.
Exactly.
Yes,
Exactly.
I know people are going
I
through
think
stuff, but
Nigerians take it for granted because we have the market, yeah, we have the numbers. If I don't buy today, it's very likely that someone else come and buy. Like they can have new customer every day because we are in the millions and they will make their money. And because people don't really broadcast their bad experience, there's no real what do you call it?
there's no backlash.
Like there's no real
I mean,
backlash except you're a son that will trend easily. That's why people take it for granted. If not,
hmm. You're welcome back to Smooth 98.1, your love music, love live station. You love conversation as well. That's why you're listening to Lagos Talks on a Wednesday morning. Ayokunmi right here, getting into the world of customer service. Yes, we are looking at something very important, customer service as a growth strategy. So for those who own a business, a small business, a medium-sized business, the SMEs, the MSMEs, or even a big corporation, this is all about getting relevant information and knowing how to do better. So if you're a business owner, you definitely want to jump on this one. And if you're a customer and you've been on the end of different types of customer service, the good, the bad, the ugly, whatever it is, we'd love to get your thoughts, your experiences, your questions as well. If you'd love to know how to make some changes when it comes to customer service in your business. So you can do that by sending your messages into us on WhatsApp on 0809 444 0981. You can also give us a call on 0201 4489 981. 0201 4489 981 is the studio line. You can also join us on YouTube where we're streaming live at Smooth 981 FM Lagos. Smooth 981 FM Lagos. And sharing all the knowledge this morning is my very special guest, Jennifer Obulo-Urueye. She is a senior project and operations manager. She's preaching the gospel to us on how customer service can serve as a growth strategy. If you want to take your business from point A to point stratosphere, you need to be on this conversation. All right, Jen, as we've been talking about this morning, we've looked at delivering good customer service and your experience as well at how good customer service can translate into a business moving on to another level. But let's take a look at challenges that small businesses face because let's be real here, they face all sorts of different areas, a myriad of issues in running their business day to day. I mean, while the importance of good service is very clear, small businesses often face significant challenges. We can't take that out of the conversation, whether it's staffing, whether it's time, whether it's money. These are some of the biggest hurdles. Uh, for example, a one-person business might struggle to keep up with messages, orders, complaints. That actually was one of the complaints that my colleague had when we had that conversation about the shoe vendor. She would send messages today, in 2, 3 days, still unanswered and all that. And even when she would answer with this attitude that was so annoying and all that. So that in itself, I mean, you not replying me on time is bad enough. They're replying me with an attitude. No, let's not even do that. And of course, many business owners also lack training in effective customer communication. We tend to have that problem, even as a people, I dare say effective communication. People just feel, oh, because I'm talking to you, I'm communicating. That's not how it works. It's not what you say most times, it's how you say it. Very, very, very key. So, Jennifer, what are some of the most um, common mistakes that you've seen in your experiences that businesses make, especially the small ones, when it comes to customer service, and how can they overcome these challenges? What can they do to be better?
Okay. So I think one of the very common mistake I've seen, especially in my experience, is the way people or business owners handle difficult or negative feedback. So they may struggle because when it's a small business, and in my mind, I am saying like probably a one man business, for
Online
example.
business, yeah.
And when you get negative feedback, it might seem like it's personal. It might seem like an attack on your person. It might seem like person doesn't like me, person doesn't like what I'm trying to do. And so they get very defensive. They don't listen to what the customer is trying to say to them. They don't even try to understand the customer's point of view. And because they are so emotionally invested, they miss out on something valuable. Negative feedback is actually very valuable. And that mindset is what I need small businesses to understand. Because
Mm,
a customer that has gotten bad experience can do one or two things. One, they can walk away and never talk about it. You never hear it. Or two, they might actually take out that time to tell you that this thing I've just experienced, I don't like it. So the customer that walks away has already mentally told themselves that I will never come back to this place again. I'm never going to come back here. Or they might even go as much as being a detractor, actually tell other people that this is the bad experience I've had, but they wouldn't
mm,
tell you. So a customer that actually told you, has given you an opportunity to work on that gap that the customer has kind of found. It's very important to listen to negative feedback. It's very, very important. A customer who actually takes out time to tell you that, look, this thing I'm just going through, I don't like it. It's an opportunity for you to say, oh, I'm sorry, I will fix it for you. And then if you fix it for this one customer, the likelihood that it will happen again is quite low because you can take
mm,
that learning from the experience with that customer and go back. So I would need small business owners in Nigeria to change their mindset about negative feedback. Don't look at it as an attack on your person. Don't be so emotionally invested in negative feedback. It's not about you, a person. It's about your business, and it's about an area of growth, something that you can do better. So I think that's one thing that I really, really want people to do. But another thing is they need to also be able to start adopting technology. I know people talk about technology a lot, but there are so many free or affordable services that small businesses can use that can take their business from 0 to 100. So they need to start
okay.
exploring. There are so many things that you cannot automate. For example, I would rather speak to a person when I have a complaint than get
All
an
day,
automated email, right?
all
So
day.
I'm not saying automate your whole customer service journey, but I'm saying there are points in the customer journey that you can automate. Why are we still ordering things from people one-on-one on DM? Can you have a website, for example? At least I don't need to speak to someone to order something. I can go online and order something. This is just a very basic example. But if you look
Mm,
at your customer journey from end to end, there are very good solutions out there that you can use to automate some parts of your customer journey. And that frees up time, that frees up resources for you to now focus on your customers when they need to speak to you for things like complaints and things like that. Um, there are a lot of free tools. If you just sit down today and ask ChatGPT, for example, how can I improve my business via technology? You will get 10 plus different targeted responses that you can actually implement. So let's not continue using our own experience. Let's not continue using our own knowledge. We should always try to grow, automate things, try to see where you can automate some parts of your customer journey so that you can free up resources for the parts that are quite necessary for, face to face.
mm. Okay. There are a couple of messages here, but I need to ask this, and I'm going to, should I say, dial back here
Mhm.
and go back to something I mentioned when it comes to effective communication. Now, from the perspective of the customer, you talked about giving feedback to the business owner, the vendor, and all that. Now, how does a business owner react when this feedback comes from, should I say, a very aggressive and or rude perspective? Because some customers, yes, they are giving you feedback, but they are very angry and they are rude and so on and so forth. How is the business owner supposed to compartmentalize this? Yes, you are getting feedback, but this person is giving you a tongue lashing at the same time. Do you get defensive? What exactly do you do? How do you deal with that?
I've worked in customer service before. I've led a customer service team. So firsthand, I can tell you that it's quite upsetting when a customer is speaking to you and is being maybe derogatory, using
Mm,
some form of words that they shouldn't use. Maybe they're shouting at the top of their voice and all of that. The good news also is that there are a lot of training programs out there that can teach you how to take the gold in the rough, take the diamond in the rough. The rough being the method of communication that this particular client has used in passing their information across to you. The diamond being what they're actually saying to you. Now we are all human. I'm not saying that it's impossible, but I know that I've worked with customer service personnel. There are people that I know that if you scream at them from now to tomorrow, they have trained themselves to ensure that once that type of difficult customers come around, they're able to decipher how to handle them, right? So it's not something that will just fall from the sky. If you're a business owner, you by yourself need to train yourself or find who will
Mm.
train you. You have to understand. I'm very old school, so I still say customer is king. I see some different point of view about this, that the customer is not always right. I believe customer is always right. I'm sorry. I'm very old school. I'm
Really?
not sorry. Yes,
Always.
I believe the customer is always right. I'm sorry. So what that means is I'm not saying that a customer comes in with a tool to beat up my guys and I'm just sitting down there. I just believe that this customer has a right, because first of all, it's your customer, right? Most likely a future paying customer or a current paying customer, right? So there's a reason why that customer is there. You have to be able to deal with irate customers. It's a skill that can be developed. It's a skill that can be learned. It's not something that falls from the sky. And I'm not saying that it's easy either, but it's a skill that can be developed. Business owners and the people that they hire need to take that as top of, like it's one of the most important things to learn how to do. If you get 100 customers today, 100 complaints today, very likely 10 out of those are irate customers. But you have to learn
Mm.
how to deal with them, because at the end of the day, the point of you being there as a business is to make money. So if you don't learn how to calm your customers, if you don't learn how to take the diamond in the rough, which is take the feedback from them, even though they are being a bit rough with you, how would you grow? How would you turn that person into an advocate? So again, this might not be a skill that comes naturally to people. I know people who customers will yell and they will just calmly sit. Even me myself, I know that I had to learn how to um just smile and be like, oh, I get where you're coming from. But the truth of the matter is, it's not even faking it, right? We have to put ourselves in our customer's shoe. That is the one advice I have for small business owners. Just ask yourself, if I was a customer of my own business, what would I like to see? How would I like to be treated? How would I like to be received? Is it possible that you had a little failing somewhere and then the customer became irate for no reason? We always say for no reason. The person is shouting at me. Is it really for no reason? Was there a gap
Mm.
somewhere? Did something happen? So if you're a customer to your own business, how would you like to be treated? That's how you grow empathy for your customers, and that empathy is invaluable when it comes to customer service. Because if you have true empathy for your customers, you would always put yourself in their shoes and you ensure that whatever it is that they are going through, whatever it is that might be negative for them at that point in time, you are able to understand it and then help them accordingly.
All
Does that
right.
make sense? Yeah.
It makes quite a bit of sense. Thank you for
Yeah.
sharing that, Jennifer. Let's take a break right now.
Okay.
When we come back in, we'll continue the conversation, and we're going to be looking at the long-term benefits of great customer service, because definitely there are long-term benefits that you as a business owner have to enjoy. Keep it tuned to Smooth 98.1. Lagos Talks will be back in a moment. We're making progress.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we are.
Nigerian businesses, God have mercy.
Ah,
Especially those
wait,
those those
does
those
this
Eastern
part record?
vendors.
When you're off air, does this part record?
Yeah, it
So
does.
we're still being recorded. So the funny
Yeah.
part of the matter is, sometime last year, my family and I, we went to an Airbnb kind of place somewhere in the outskirts of Lagos, and we stayed in a hotel. And the funny part is, we stayed in Airbnb. The service was so terrible that was the birth of me wanting to write a book. I just started writing a book, and it's called The Cost of Anyhowness. Because in my head, I could not understand how somebody has spent so much money building such a beautiful place. You had then the finishing was now terrible. Like, why is the finishing so terrible? From the finishing to the managers to the staff, You've done 90%. Just put that extra oomph to get it to 100%. It's a problem in Nigeria. I've written the first chapter, like, or should I say, I've outlined the first chapter, and it's talking about our culture. My grandfather cannot relate to anyhowness because then it was not in their culture. But my father can
Mm.
relate to it because the carpenter will tell you, "Oh God, I'll be there at 10," and you will not see him for the next 3 days. What is this anyhowness? Meanwhile, this is how he feeds his family. This is how he feeds his family. Or you tell him, please go to the market and buy this is what I want. Do you understand? Yes, I understand. And then he comes back with something totally different. How does that even happen? It's anyhowness. And there's
Uh,
a cost.
Nigeria and anyhowness is 5 and 6. So
I'm telling
it is,
you.
it is 5 and 6. Lord. All right, welcome back into Lagos Talks this beautiful Wednesday morning on the Smooth Breakfast on Smooth 98.1. You know, we love music and we love life. We love to have great conversation. And today, that is what we are doing. We have been talking about customer service as a growth strategy for all the business owners out there, the small business owners, the MSMEs. This is a conversation that you need to jump on because customer service is as important as the product and the service that you offer. So if you want to, should I say, learn more, basically, please join us on the conversation. If you have any questions as well for my special guest in the person of Jennifer Obulo-Urueye, she's a senior project and operations manager. She has a ton of experience in the customer service space as well. This is an opportunity for you to ask those questions that maybe the answers could take your business to the next level, or if you have experiences with good or bad customer service, please, we'd love to get your experiences as well. So send your thoughts into us on WhatsApp on 0809 444 0981. Also, give us a call on the studio line if you just love to share those thoughts one on one. It's 0201 448991. That's the studio line. On YouTube, we're at Smooth 981 FM Lagos, Smooth 981 FM Lagos. Talking about YouTube, there's a message here, a question here from Emmanuel. Yes. And he says, how much of an effect does staff welfare have on customer service? That's a key one.
Hmm, that's a very good question. Emmanuel, thank you for sharing your thoughts with us this morning. I personally think it has a great effect on customer service. So let me just segue a little bit, right? There's this word I keep hearing, work-life balance, work-life balance. How can we balance work and life? And in my mind's eye, I'm a mom, I'm a wife, and I'm also a project manager, right? Um, it's a lot on my plate. So tell me how I'm going to, in my head, I cannot remove work from life. So the term work-life balance to me, it insinuates that work is on one hand and life is on the other hand, and we need to find a balance for both of them. I
Right.
really believe that it's more of work-life integration. So a
Ah,
customer service person, for example, is earning 25,000 naira a month, 50,000 naira a month. He cannot eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. He cannot send his kids to school without having to borrow, beg, or do a draw or something. He cannot even take the bus he wants to take to work. He has to trek a few distance first. And then the person comes to work, come and talk to your customers, who probably is spending a lot of money buying your product or buying your service, and you expect him to be smiling with your customers. I really think that what do you call it, staff
stop.
welfare is extremely important. It is extremely important. We have a minimum wage in Nigeria. I don't know what informed them to bring that minimum wage, but there are still people earning below minimum wage in Nigeria, and you find them in jobs like customer service support. These are the people that are talking to your customers, and you don't think that you should treat them well. So what are you expecting them? Like I talked about empathy, right? Putting the customer, customers and putting yourself in the customer's shoes so that you can feel their pain and help them accordingly, right? That's empathy for
Mm,
customer service. But how about empathy for those that are actually helping your customers? So
right.
you're selling a
Right.
product that one is 50,000, for example. You're selling a product, one is 50,000. You are paying this person 50,000 naira for the month, 30 days. I don't even want to tell you what that is in dollars because one of us will start crying here. But then you want this person to speak to your customers who have use his 1 month salary to buy your products. You know how that's going to make him feel? Life, work and life are not two separate things. I don't know. I cannot put, I don't know what work-life balance is. I've been working since 2014 and this is 2025. There is nothing, I've not learned anything about work-life balance. What I know is how can I integrate my work and my life properly?
That
My work is not separate from my life. If you
that is a
ask me
million
what I
dollar
am today,
question.
I would say I am a project manager. I'm not going to say I manage projects. Actually, if you ask anybody, if I ask you what you say, I am it is who you are, right? They'll say, tell me who you are without what you do. Can you really do that? Can I really tell you who I am without what I do? So this concept of work is separate from life. Maybe it's something that we need to shed so that we can treat people that work with us and for us better. Maybe something that we need to remove from our mentality so that we can treat people who work with us, people who work with for us better. You cannot separate work from life. I don't think you can. I've tried for a decade now, and I know how my personal life can also come into my work life, for example. So I know that
Mm,
it's integrated. If I'm having a bad day, as at home, for example, I go to work, I'm pretty sure someone's going to pick up on it. I'm pretty sure I might not be able to give 100% of myself on that day. Maybe I can only give 80% on that day because I don't know, I'm having a headache or I fell down the stairs or something. Can I separate who I am from what I'm doing? I don't know. It's food for thought. And I'm always trying to be like devil's advocate. But staff welfare, Emmanuel, to answer your question, staff welfare has a very huge impact on customer service. We need to ensure that the people that are treating our customers, people who are in front of our customers, are being
mm,
treated well to an extent. Of course, not to the detriment of the company, are being treated well so that they can also treat our customers well. I think it's a hidden strategy. If you can do it well, your customers will feel the impact positively.
true story. And the thing is, it's such a vicious cycle because these customers are the ones who are bringing money into the business anyway. So
Yeah,
vicious cycle right there. Okay, there's a
yeah.
message here on WhatsApp. Another question. This is Lara from Ejigbo who says she's a food vendor. And she says, uh, great conversation, guys. So we all hear the saying that the customer is always right. Jen already agrees with that one. And she further says, but what if the customer doesn't understand our policy and insists on having their way? Are we supposed to bend as a service just so we can keep clientele?
Hmm. I wish she had given us, thank you for your question, Lara. I wish you had given us like a specific example because these things might also be taken on a case-to-case basis. But I like that you said you have a policy. If there's a policy in place, there's a policy in place. Sometimes what even happens is the way we deliver the policy to the customer, not even the policy itself. How was it communicated to the customer? If the customer is insisting, how was it communicated to the customer? Right? If you
Mm,
have a policy, there's a policy. I mean, there are times where I would like to tweak a little bit to ensure that I keep that customer, especially if it's a customer that I believe will probably give me like repeat service, for example, a customer who I
okay.
believe that in the long run might actually be beneficial for me as a business. I might tweak my policy in one of the places, but a policy is a policy. And if the customer is insisting, are there other ways you can help? What is this policy? So if the policy says, for example, no returns, you cannot return food we delivered to you, for example, I mean, that's a no-brainer. You cannot return food. And customer is insisting that, oh, this is not what I asked for. I'm going to return it. I asked for, tomato, you use pepper, for example. Sir, on your next order, I will give you 10% off. Is that okay? I'm sorry about this particular instance, but unfortunately, our policy stands. We cannot take the order back. Could I probably give you like a credit for your next order? Can I even send you Coke and Fanta to, the hot sun to chill for the weather? So how are we delivering this message to the customer? Sometimes it's the how, it's not the what. And
Mm,
just to add another thing, Lara, why is the customer is the customer insisting post service or pre service? Communication, like Ayo said, extremely important. Was it clear? Did you clearly communicate to your customer? Because I know that they say Africans don't read. It's true. Africans don't read. But me and you know that Africans don't read. Yet everybody's policy is written down. Have you thought about that? I worked for a company, an insurance company a few years back, and our MD then, he was very radical. I liked working with him because he always tried to come up with new things. And he was like, why can't we record our policy verbally? Because we know our customers are not going to read it. We have a policy document. Customers don't read. Me and you, we say it every time. Customers don't read. So why is our
Mm,
policy written down? Can we have an audio version of this policy where we can send customers, they can listen to it on their way home, they can listen to it while they're walking, whatever. And that was a great initiative. So my question to Lara is, was this issue pre or post service? If it was pre-service, is there a better way you can communicate your policy to the customer so that it doesn't keep getting missing, right? Because don't come and tell me after I already paid that this is your policy. So you see that will be a serious problem, and that will be you being in the wrong. But if it's post-service, maybe something had happened, the customer did not understand before he paid, or whatever the
right.
case is. Can you find a common ground? Don't just insist. Okay, Nigerians now, I don't know, there's just something about us. I don't know. The way we talk is not very nice. So I know that I'm in the right, does not mean that I should throw it in your face. Oh God, that's our policy. Take it like that. That's our policy. No, actually, can I say, I'm really sorry, sir. Maybe I did not communicate properly. However, can we do this? Look for solution. Don't just say sorry and stop there. That's another thing Nigerians do that I don't like. Sorry, ma. I don't understand. How does that help me? Oh, I'm sorry. Could I please, I don't know, take it up with my manager. I'll get back to you. Could I please give you a discount for your next service? Find some kind of
Mm,
solution. Find some kind of middle ground just to ensure that you don't lose that customer and person comes back next time as a repeat customer. I hope that helps, Lara.
Laura, I really hope that helps as you journey along in your food business. Let us take, I believe, what I believe would be a final breather this morning, and then we'll come back in. We'll take a few thoughts and just wrap up on the conversation this morning and bring everything home. Don't go anywhere. Keep it tuned to Smooth 98.1. Lagos folks will be back in a moment. Keep my eyes firmly placed because last week I think I missed an ad because I was so engrossed in the conversation. I missed an ad. I played it late, so I've been keeping my eye on the system. Uh,
Okay.
I will not make that mistake again. Yes, so
And how did you treat the customer?
no, I mean an ad that I played here.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Yeah, an ad on the system. That's why I've been keeping one eye on the system to see. Oh, the next ad is at this time, so that I don't play it too late.
Okay, fair
That
enough.
happened last week because I was very very into the conversation I was having. So I lose guard, as they say. So I think this
Oh
is the
my
last
goodness. Yeah,
before, well, the next one is 9:55. So we'll wrap up before then. So
before
we don't,
9:55, yeah.
yeah, that's
Okay.
10 minutes. That should be more than enough time
Yep. To wrap up.
to wrap up. Yeah.
It's been an interesting conversation. I really hope we can do better in Nigeria. I really do. Like, we have so many skills, so many resources. We should not be where we are right now, right? We should be way, way. I think people underestimate how great customer service can be. It's just non-existent in Nigeria. I really wish we can do better.
I hope so. Big time. Alrighty, Lagos Talks on Smooth 98.1. This is your Love Music, Love Live station. It's 46 minutes past 9 a.m. My name is Ayokunmi, and it's been a discussion concerning customer service, looking at how it can be used as a strategy for growth in your business. Jennifer Obulo-Urueye is my guest. We have been tackling the issues when it comes to customer service in Nigeria. So, as a business owner, this is definitely a conversation that you need in order to take your business to the next level. Jennifer, it's been quite an interesting one this morning, an eye-opener, perspectives. This is something that everyone who has a business in Nigeria, and even those who don't have businesses, because it all boils down to communication, communicating effectively, communicating in a way that does not denigrate or does not put someone down, because a lot of people tend to speak, they feel, oh, I'm a straight shooter. I will say it as it is, but it doesn't always work in that fashion, really. And when it comes to business owners, one thing that you mentioned is investing in their staff, in those who work with them. But many people look at it as, "Ah, I can't be spending money now to do this, do that. Maybe it's just to talk to customers and all that." Can you reiterate how key it is on business owners in making sure that their staff are up to par in terms of how they interface with their clients, their customers, and so on and so forth, and what it is and what other things that they can do to make sure that those standards that they so desperately need to put in place do not drop?
Okay. So I think when business owners have that mentality that why they spending money training people, it's not just customer service. They haven't really mapped what the alternative is. They haven't really mapped what will happen if they don't train the people that they're working with. So let us try to list out a few things. For example, if you train people that you work with, first thing first, it protects your brand reputation. When you have a business, automatically you are creating a brand, right? And
Mm,
so you should know that a single bad experience, like you have said earlier today, Ayo, can lead to negative word of mouth or negative online review. Before you know it, you are infamous. So why do you spend all that energy creating a business? Why do you spend all that time and money? When you train your people, you're basically spending money to protect your reputation. So don't look at it as, oh,
right.
I'm investing in another person. What if the person goes? What if the person stays? What if the person stays? Excuse me. So don't look at it that that mindset needs to change. Take it as an investment into protecting your reputation. And also when you spend money training your people, and yourself, you're actually saving time and money. So if you train me on how to do a job properly, I'm going to make less mistakes. If you think about it, I'm going to ensure I'm going to know what to do at any point in time. I'm going to know how to handle your customers. I'm not going to waste time. I'm going to have, clear guidelines. So again, you are saving money, you are saving time, but also you're also creating a competitive advantage. Because think about it, how many people? So I talked about one person that I know that has a business. She's not even a friend or anything. I just know her because I go to her salon that has
Okay.
spent time and money that is in training her people. Do you know how competitive that is? That has made her business. Now think about it. How many people, how many businesses that you interact with do you think train their people? So SMEs look at it like, oh, I don't have that money. It's for bigger organizations, it's for large corporate organizations. And that's just not the case. So there are a lot of businesses out there who specializes in training SMEs. So it will reflect, it will reflect in their pricing, right? So take that as a competitive advantage because you know that other people are not training their people. That should be a reason for you to invest in training your people. That will give you a great competitive advantage and your staff will stand out. When you walk into somewhere and you are being spoken to properly and people know what they are doing, don't you always have the urge to go back there? So it's a no-brainer. I'm going to do it because other people are doing it. And last but not least, it will definitely reduce staff turnover. So if you get people and they see you investing in them, where are they going to? There's a cost in staff turnover that people always tend to neglect. There's a
Mm,
huge cost in staff turnover. If you're spending money trying to recruit and train, in fact, that down because people always say, Nigeria is big. We are hundreds of, we are millions of people in Nigeria. If you don't do it, there's someone out there that's going to do it, right? But the matter is that the time between when that person has quit and when you get the new person, and when that new person actually gets onboarded and understands what, because see, every job is different, right? I have
true.
experience in project manager, but even when I get to a new organization, I still need that downtime to understand how that business does things. There's
Mm.
a
You need to
cost,
learn the
there's a
ropes there.
Exactly. And there's a cost element of that because the time I'm beginning to learn, I can be beginning to help the business grow, but I'm learning. So there's a cost element to that. That's recruitment, that constant turnover. Today you call different person, next morning you call different person. But if you're spending time and money, so when I say train your people, I'm not saying go and look for the most expensive trainer. Even you by yourself, taking a course online and just taking out time to speak to people that are working for you. It's a training. You can even tell your people, go online, look for this so free course and take it. That is a training program as well. So
Mm,
we just need to shift our mindset. It's not, and just know that you need to invest into your business. Open business, put biscuit on the shelf, come and buy. That's not the end, right? You need to train your people, You need to tell them, I need to communicate what you need from them. By doing all of those things, you're basically building your brand and ensuring that your business stands the test of time, which is why you're opening the place in the first place.
True story. All right, let me take a final message here on WhatsApp. This is Dakwa, who is around town at the moment. He says, today's topic happens to be very edifying and educational. It reminds me of the story of how Oprah Winfrey walked into a jewelry store in Geneva and got the shock of her life. The salesperson who was present there had no idea of who she was and presumably thought that as a Black woman, she wasn't able to afford what they were selling in the shop. Very aggressive, the way she treated Oprah with significant disdain and not realizing that she was a dollar billionaire. Just had to add dollar behind billionaire there, Dakpo. He said the rest of the story is history, but nobody is supposed to judge a book by its cover. Very, very true story. Now, just imagine being the owner of that particular business and the sort of thought process that Oprah would have of not just the salesperson, but the business as well. Jennifer.
Yeah. So I'm trying to just imagine Oprah going through that. It would have been such a difficult thing for her to deal with. But how could this have been avoided? Basically treating all customers the same. Your customer is your customer is your customer. Whether your customer is a celebrity, whether your customer is black or white, whether your customer is whatever, the person has walked into your shop and is your customer. You need to strive for consistency. One customer cannot have, this great experience, and another customer now has like the total opposite of that. It's very important to try to be consistent in the way we deal with our customers. It's very, very important. I can't imagine Oprah having to have gone through that. I can't imagine anybody having to go through that. You just look at me and judge me that, oh, I cannot go through that. And I know that this is a common practice in businesses. Just to talk about this experience, recently I read online where a lady who was getting married had asked one of these celebrity fashion designer to sew her dresses. And then she came back online to rant for days about how she was treated so poorly. And it's different from how she has seen the celebrities on this person's page being treated. And my first
Mm,
thought was, but this is also a paying customer. In fact, I would even probably treat that person more because in my head, the celebrity probably even has like, a lot of, I don't know, money to come and buy, but this person saw all of that and chose me despite nothing. They might not have as much as or whatever. But why is it that the person did not get the same treatment that the celebrities on her page are getting? And then everyone is now writing in the comments, they don't treat people the same, or they treat celebrities different. That should not be the case. Customer service only works when it's consistent across all group of customers that you have. So we need to keep that in mind when we're dealing with our customers.
most definitely. Treat all your customers the same. All the fingers where customers are concerned need to be equal. That is very, very important. All right. We need to wrap up the conversation. And I'm going to say this that customer service is not optional at all. It is a growth strategy. And yes, we know that challenges are inevitable, but they can be overcome with the right mindset and tools as well. I want to say a big thank you to you, Jennifer, for joining me this morning to spread the gospel really and share all this very, very vital information and educating all of us on how key it is that we
Thank you for
implement
having me.
proper customer service. For those who are, listening right now and would love to pick your brains a bit more, where can they find you on the social media? You need to send you a
Oh,
DM and so on and so forth.
okay. So you can find me on True HR Consulting on Instagram or on Twitter. If you just type True HR Consulting, you will find me on Instagram, and I'm just one DM away.
All right. Thank you so much, Jennifer, for joining me this morning. Absolute pleasure. Have yourself a great, great Wednesday.
Thank you for having me. Bye,
All right.
Ayo.
All right. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. Thank you for sending all your messages in and keeping it tuned to Smooth the 98.1. Don't go anywhere. The fun never stops. More great music coming your way as we journey to the 11 o'clock hour.
Bye, Ayo. Thank you for having me. It was a great conversation.